I'm Dave Barry. I've been an MVP for the Dynamic CRM product now for about 8 years. Of course, now it's business solutions, right? So, yeah, I've been all over the place. I worked for some partners, worked for some end users, and my most recent job, actually a week old now, is working for an ISV.
Excellent. So how did you get involved in business apps?
Oh man, so I was kind of a fledgling developer. I was working in IT mostly, doing server administration, setup, networking, that kind of stuff, and my passion was development. I always wanted to be a software developer, and I found an opportunity that allowed me to do kind of half of each. And what they needed was a dynamic CRM developer. I had never heard of the product before. They were on old version 3.0, and that was my introduction. That was where I found it, and by doing so, by learning how to develop and customize it, I found a passion for it, for doing business problem solving and software development.
So if you weren't on your current career path, what would be an alternative one you'd choose?
I always wanted to be president of the United States, but I think at this point I've decided that I'm a bit too gruff for that. So, my language and my ability to lie is not great at all. So I probably actually would not serve well in politics.
Classic. If you could go anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would it be?
Home.
Home. Excellent. I love it. What excites you most about the future of business applications?
A lot of the cloud-driven aspects, particularly with distributed services, microservice architecture framework, service-oriented architecture. I think there's a lot of modern development practices that have been evident in the way the products, the Dynamics line has been maturing and mutating between its iterations, and I think that's a fantastic opportunity for the platform to really touch all the different ends and all the different services and people and things that people have. It used to be the way that we integrated was going from SQL to SQL. And now we have a real opportunity to do web service to web service, where we have definite version APIs, and we've eliminated a lot of the inconsistency, in data and propagation and being able to, connect with services around the world.
Yeah, great answer. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you?
I'm probably about a 13.
Excellent. What's the biggest myth you've seen about Dynamics 365 implementations?
Gosh, it's pervasive, and you'll find this answer a lot, but I still see it, in various corners where people try to turn the product into something it's not. I mean, ultimately, we're talking about CRM being more event-driven and relationship-driven. It's not a very good transactional system. So people who take the idea that, hey, this can be a general ledger, or hey, this can help me do inventory management, that's not what it's there for. That's not what it's best at. And so I think the greatest myth is that you can do everything or anything with the platform, and you really can't. And I think it takes a seasoned, responsible party to understand that and know when it actually needs to connect to something else to, separate that responsibility to a platform that's able to do it better.
Yeah, makes sense. So what are you not good at?
Oh, I'm not good at censoring myself. Every single job that I've ever had, I will say something to a boss and people will turn around and look at me like, do you like your job? And I don't do it to be cocky. I see the things the way that they are, and if I don't agree with them, or I feel like that they're an injustice perhaps, I don't stay quiet about it. Yeah. And I'm not ashamed of that.
Yeah.
I think that's cost me some opportunities over the years, but all the same, I am who I am, and I'm not, I don't apologize for that.
Excellent. What's the greatest thing about being an MVP?
I'd have to say the companionship. Being able to hang out with, guys like Matt Winneman and Mark Smith and Sheila Shapari, just my heroes, you know, people that I absolutely adore, and being able to kind of continually remain connected to them. I'd say that's number one benefit. Number two benefit would absolutely be the exposure and the face time with Microsoft and their R&D team, and to really help shape and focus the product. You know, perhaps even before anybody sees what's coming. You know, being able to represent the entire community. That's a pretty, you know, that's a privilege. It's an honor. It's a lot of responsibility.